Hello and welcome to a screencast that will show you how to install Simply Accounting, which is actually now known as Sage 50 Accounting. If you're a returning student and you have a previous version of Simply Accounting installed, you'll have to uninstall it and run a cleanup utility. I'll show you how to do that. So you'll click on your Start button, then you'll go to Settings, Control Panel, and then you're going to go and find Programs and Features, and then you'll see a list of all the programs you have installed, but up here you'll have a search box, and you can actually type Simply, and if you have it installed already, Simply Accounting will appear here in the window. I don't have Simply Accounting installed, so that's why it doesn't show up here. But in your case, if you do have it installed, it'll show up in this list. So what you'll do is you'll click on Simply Accounting, and then click on Install or Uninstall, and then follow through and uninstall it. Once that's done, you will go to the following web page. So open Internet Explorer and type this address, na.sage.com/50-accounting-ca/download/2013/student, and hit enter. So this is the page where you can download the new version of Simply Accounting, but from here you can get the student version utility, which will clean up any previous versions that you have on here. So if you click on the link, then you'll see something like this where it'll prompt you to open or save the file. You can either open or save, so we'll say open. I'm using Windows 8, so this might look a little different than what you have if you're using a previous version of Windows. So you can just say open with File Explorer, or Windows Explorer it may say, and then double click on Student Version Cleanup Utility. I'm not going to run this because I have Sage 50 already installed on here, but in your case just double click and follow any prompts that come up, and that should take care of any older versions for you. Now you'll go back to the Sage 50 web page we opened earlier and click on the download button. You'll see a bar at the bottom where you can just simply click Run. Download Manager should run and begin downloading, and this may take some time. Through the magic of video editing, we'll speed up the video. Once the download is complete, your screen may flicker and you may get a security prompt. It's okay to say yes here. Installation will continue. So this is the folder where it's going to save your download. You can say next. And this again may take some time. Now this window will appear, and click Install Sage 50. Leave it at English and click OK. leave it set to typical and click Next. And now the serial number you will find on the web page where you downloaded the program. So you can copy and paste it by selecting the text and then right-clicking and choosing Copy. And then you can right-click in the box and say Paste. And then click Next. Check off I agree and click Install. This may also take some time. I've sped up the video here. So once the install is done, you'll see a window and you can uncheck the View Product Information and leave Open Sage 50 checked and click OK. And now you'll want to activate the software. So what you'll need to do is go back to the web page where you downloaded and follow the steps under Register. So click on this link and you're going to choose version 2013 and you're going to enter in your personal information, so your first name, your last name, email address. Make sure your email address is accurate because you will receive an email message with your activation information. Fill in all of the necessary fields. You can fill in the optional fields if you like, or just click Submit. And now they will send an email address or an email message to you. It should come in pretty quick. It says 3 business days there, but it should come in almost instantly. So go to your email provider and sign in. And you should get an email message from Sage Education. You can open that message. Your screen will probably look different than mine. So in the message you'll see a serial number and a key code. I've blurred out my information here because you'll have to use your own. So you can basically just select the text and copy and paste into the appropriate fields like this, going back and forth between your email message and the activation window. You can also type these numbers and letters in if you prefer. And once you have everything entered, click OK. At this point, Sage 50 should load. So once you've got Simply Accounting installed and activated, you'll also have to download an update file. So to get the update file, go to this address, na.sage-50-accounting-ca/support/product-and-payroll-/updates-/2013. You can pause the video if you need time to get this address. Hit enter. And then look for this link. It says download SA_20133CPUP1.exe. So click on that. And then down at the bottom you'll have this type of bar. You may want to save this file again, so hit Save As, the little drop down arrow next to Save, click on Save As, and then in that same Sage folder off of your desktop, Sage, you might want to put it in here. So just hit Save, and it'll download. And once it says it's completed, you can say Run. You'll likely get a security warning at this point, and you can say Yes. So you'll click on I agree to accept the terms, and then Install. It may be slow. You can uncheck the View Product Information in the README. We don't need to do that. And then when you open Sage 50, for the first time after installing the update, it should say Release 3 right here. And we're going to open a sample company. Now again, where I've already installed this update, I may not see the same window that you will see. This is the type of window that should appear for the tax updates. You should be able to just say, I want to update my tax information now, helped and click Next. Made sense, and good luck.
Welcome to the Installing Peachtree on a Server Anytime Learning topic. This topic provides an overview of the procedures and steps used to install Peachtree on a computer that will host the Peachtree company data in a networked Peachtree environment. After completing this Anytime Learning topic, you will be able to prepare your system for a successful Peachtree installation, install Peachtree on a networked workstation computer, share the folder that will contain Peachtree's data path, and then register Peachtree and check for updates. This guide provides a walkthrough of installing a multi-user version of Sage Peachtree on a computer connected to a peer-to-peer network environment. During this demonstration, Peachtree will be installed on a computer system running Microsoft Windows 7. However, the steps outlined here can also be used to install Peachtree on other supported versions of Windows, as well as dedicated Windows servers, such as Windows Server 2003. Before installing Peachtree, it's a good idea to prepare your system. To learn tips that will ensure a successful installation of Peachtree, it is recommended that you view the pre-installation checklist topic before installing Peachtree. The pre-installation topic walks you through preparing your system for a Peachtree installation, including verifying system requirements found on the side of Peachtree's box, verifying that you have local administrator login rights, which is necessary for any installation of Peachtree, configuring antivirus and firewall software so that they do not interfere with Peachtree's installation and functionality, and more. To begin installing Peachtree, insert the installation disk into your CD or DVD drive. Peachtree's Auto Run window should automatically display. If the Auto Run window does not display automatically, you can manually run it by opening Windows Explorer, opening your CD drive contents, and then double-clicking on the Auto Run application. On the Auto Run window, click once on the Install Peachtree Accounting hyperlink. A User Account Control window may appear asking you if you want to allow the setup program to make changes on the computer. Always select Yes. The Install Shield wizard will execute, preparing your system for the installation. The Peachtree installation wizard will then start. This installation wizard will guide you step by step through the setup process. Now let's click Next to begin the setup process. First, agree to the license agreement and then click Next. At this point, you may receive a message stating that the Windows firewall has been detected. Firewall programs running on the system must allow Peachtree and its helper programs to run without restriction. Otherwise, Peachtree will not function as designed. Always click Yes to this message. Doing so will instruct the Peachtree setup program to automatically configure Windows Firewall to allow Peachtree files to run properly. Depending on your system, the setup program may also detect additional non-Microsoft firewalls running. Note that unlike the built-in Windows Firewall, the Peachtree setup program cannot auto-configure other firewall programs. It is for this reason that you should follow the steps outlined on this prompt to turn on the firewall's alert system. With alerts turned on, your firewall program will prompt you the first time network-aware programs are executed on your system. When you receive firewall alerts during installation, you must always select to allow or unblock Peachtree and Pervasive files as they are being run for the first time. You can click on the How Do I Configure My Firewall link to find walkthroughs on setting alerts for many popular firewall programs. Peachtree will then search for previous versions of Peachtree installed on the system. Now the serial number window will appear, prompting you to enter the serial number found on the back of the installation CD case. We'll enter the serial number and then click Next. On the Single Computer or Network window, we must select whether or not we are installing Peachtree only on this computer or if we plan to share the Peachtree company data on a network. If we were installing a standalone single-user version of Peachtree, we would leave Yes selected. However, we plan to share the Peachtree company database with other Peachtree workstations in a multi-user network environment, so we will select No and then click Next. On the Peachtree Company Data File Storage window, we are asked if we want to store the Peachtree data files created for the company on this computer, or if another computer on the network will host the data. For this demonstration, we are hosting the company data files on this computer. We will leave Yes selected and click Next. On the Choose Peachtree Program Files Location window, we will define the location on this computer that the Peachtree program files should be stored. This location must be a local hard disk installed on this computer. It cannot be a mapped network drive or a removable media drive, such as a USB flash drive. Let's leave the program path to be installed in a Sage Peachtree folder in our system's program files directory and click Next. Earlier, we told the setup process that the company data will be stored on this machine. Now we need to define the exact location on the Peachtree Company Data Location window. This folder will contain your Peachtree Company Data folder, as well as sample companies and Peachtree files that are designed to be shared between companies, such as tax table and report files. This folder is often referred to as Peachtree's data path. By default, this data path is stored inside a folder named Company. You do have the option to change this folder to another location on the computer. However, when defining the location of a Peachtree data path, remember that the folder should be located inside another Windows folder. For example, note that in this demonstration, the data path defaults to C://Sage/Peachtree/company. Installing the data path folder into a subfolder will allow you to share the folder above the company folder during the installation wizard process. This way, workstations will be able to map to the shared folder and not the actual data path folder. This type of sharing and mapping configuration is necessary for Peachtree to function properly. Also remember that because this installation has been defined as the system that hosts the company data files, The location you select here must be a local hard drive and not a network drive or removable media. We'll leave this set to its default location and click Next. We have finished configuring how we want Peachtree to be installed on the system, and a window appears summarizing our selections. If necessary, we can click the back button to correct any mistakes we may see. New for Sage Peachtree 2012, an optional Network Installation Manager is available on the summary window. If we select this option, the installation wizard will perform additional steps during the actual installation. Peachtree will install on the server as normal. However, additional steps will occur in the background. The Network Installation Manager will also copy the installation setup files to a shared folder on the server. In addition to the installation files, the Network Installation Manager option will add a client installation file to help automate each workstation installation. Also, the Network Installation Manager will provide a text file at the end of the server installation process that contains the location of the shared installation folder on the server, as well as instructions on how to use it to install Sage Peachtree 2012 on each workstation. Let's select the Installation Manager option and then click Install to begin the actual copying and setup process. A setup status window will appear, providing you with a view of the current progress of the installation. It will be during this portion of the installation that you may be prompted by your firewall to allow or block one or more of the files listed on this window. Again, always allow these files to run unrestricted. In addition to Peachtree, programs installed at this time include the Pervasive Database Engine, which is used to manage your database, and Sage's Advisor and Integration Services. Once the copying process is complete, another window will appear, providing you with an opportunity to share the Peachtree folder on this machine with the other computers that will access your Peachtree company data files. Click the Share the Folder button. This will open Windows Explorer with the folder above the defined data path folder highlighted. Right-click on this folder and select Properties. In Properties, select the Sharing tab. Now let's click the Advanced Sharing button. All network users that will be accessing the Peachtree data on this system must have full rights to the shared folder. So we will click the Permissions button to configure the users to have full permissions to this folder. In the Users list, you will see everyone by default. Highlight this user and give full control. We will also want to add System as a user. This will allow Pervasive to have full unrestricted rights to the files in this folder. Now that we've shared the folder, let's click Next. On this final screen, you can select to start Peachtree and/or read the release notes. You can also select to view a Network Setup Tips text file that provides helpful information that will help make mapping your workstations a simpler process. Peachtree is now ready for use on this computer. Back on the desktop, we now see up to 4 new icons. The Peachtree icon will start the Peachtree program. The Peachtree Automatic Backup icon allows you to configure automatic backups without opening the Peachtree program. The Peachtree Knowledge Center icon links you to Peachtree.com's extensive online help, and the Business Checks and Form icon provides direct access to many business forms, such as pre-printed invoices and checks, that can be purchased and used in Peachtree. Both Peachtree and the Automatic Backup can also be accessed by selecting them from a new startup folder added to the Start menu. Now that Peachtree is installed, we can open the program. You may receive additional firewall alert prompts as you start Peachtree. Allow the files to run. Although we are finished with the actual installation, there are a couple of additional steps we should take immediately after Peachtree is installed. First, we should register the program. To register Peachtree, select Help from the File menu and then Peachtree Registration. The serial number entered during the installation process will already be entered at the serial number field. Under this field, enter your registration number at the registration number field. Next, enter your customer ID at the customer ID field, and if someone recommended Peachtree to you, enter their ID as well. You can look up their ID by clicking the supplied link. Click OK and Peachtree will now be registered. Next, you can register the Peachtree Payroll tax solution if you may have purchased it. Select Help and then Tax Service Registration. Enter the tax registration number given to you when you purchase the tax service, and then click OK. A prompt will appear informing you that you are now registered to use the payroll tax service in Peachtree. Click OK. After registering your Peachtree product, you can now check for Peachtree service release updates and Peachtree tax service updates that may have been released since the pressing of the CD. To download and install the latest updates, select Services from the File menu and then Check for Updates. Click the Check for Updates button that appears and follow any steps that the program provides. If updates are available, you'll be walked through a series of steps that will include downloading program and tax service updates and then walking through the update wizards that will appear after the downloads are complete. In this demonstration, there are currently no updates available, so we can click OK to the prompt and begin using Peachtree. With the server installation complete and the Peachtree data path shared and available on the network, you can now install Peachtree on each workstation that will be using the program. So as you have seen, installing Peachtree is really a simple process. If you prepare your system properly and make sure you register your product and download updates after Peachtree is installed, you can have Peachtree up and running in no time. You have successfully completed this Anytime Learning topic. You have learned how to prepare your system for a successful Peachtree installation, install Peachtree on a computer that is acting as a server, share the folder that will contain Peachtree's data path, and register Peachtree and download any updates if necessary. Thank you for taking this Anytime Learning topic. For information on additional training options available, visit us at sageu.com. Welcome to the Peachtree Pre-Installation Checklist Anytime Learning topic. This topic provides an overview of the procedures and steps used to prepare a computer for a successful installation of Peachtree. After completing this Anytime Learning topic, you will be able to verify that your computer meets Peachtree's minimum system requirements, verify that you are logged into Windows with full permissions, disable your antivirus program, if any, enable firewall alerts, if any, and use the ping command to verify system and network functionality. Before preparing for an actual installation, it's very important that you make sure that your computer system meets or exceeds the system requirements listed on the side of Peachtree's box. If you have not purchased the product yet, you can find a list of system requirements with the product's description on Peachtree.com. If your system does not meet Peachtree's listed minimum requirements, your system will most likely have problems running Peachtree in terms of performance and stability, and therefore cannot be supported by Peachtree. There are actually two system configurations listed with Peachtree's system requirements: the minimum requirements and the recommended system configuration. Minimum requirements mean that Peachtree cannot run dependably if it is installed on anything less than the requirements specified. For optimal performance, it's always best to have at least the recommended system configuration. Windows provides a system information utility tool that can be used to determine many of your computer's current system specifications. You can use this tool to compare your system with Peachtree's system requirements. Let's take a look. In any supported version of Windows, you can access the System Information utility by clicking the Windows Start button, selecting All Programs, Accessories, System Tools, and then selecting System Information. The System Information utility will appear. On the System Summary page, you can determine if your computer matches many of the system specifications listed in Peachtree system requirements, including the speed of your CPU,
the amount of physical RAM installed, and the installed version of Windows, including currently installed service packs, if any. While on this window, you may want to write down the computer name provided here. It will be used in a later preparation step and if you are setting this system up as part of a Peachtree multi-user network. Other system specifications can be found here as well. For example, we can find information on your hard drive's available space. First, make note of the drive where the system drive is located. This is usually the C drive, and then click Components, expand Storage, and then click on Drives. Here you will see information for all of the drives installed in your system, including local hard drives, CD or DVD drives, and others. Make sure that the local disk drive you plan to install Peachtree on has at least the minimum free space listed with Peachtree's minimum requirements. Additionally, if the drive that you want to install Peachtree to is not the same as the system drive reported on the System Summary window, make sure that the system drive has the same amount of required free space as well. In this situation, Peachtree will need to have the minimum available space on both drives. When you are actually ready to install Peachtree on a system, the very first step you should take to prepare for the installation is to reboot your computer. As simple as it may sound, rebooting a computer before installing a software program goes a long way in helping you avoid installation problems due to unstable programs left in your computer's random access memory. Files in memory that can prolong or interfere with a Peachtree installation include system files locked in memory that Peachtree will need to update during the installation, Install Shield installation setup files still running after a previous program installation, and so on. Rebooting your computer will clear all of these files from memory, speeding up the installation and minimizing the chance of installation problems. After rebooting, the next step you should take is ensuring that you log into Windows with local administrator rights. This user type is often named Computer Administrator in Windows. You must have unrestricted administrator access when installing Peachtree. This is due to the nature of the installation process and how it needs to update and possibly modify areas of the system that are not accessible to users with restricted Windows rights. Here's an easy way to determine whether you have full rights to the system. In Windows XP, select the Start button and then select Run. If you are using Vista or Windows 7, hold down the Windows key on your keyboard and then press the R key. The same Run window will appear. At the Open field, enter Control, Space, User Passwords, and the number 2, no spaces, and then press the OK button. If you have full local administrator rights, a User Accounts window will appear. You will most likely see your login ID in the list of user accounts added to the administrator group. The simple fact that your current user profile has access to this window pretty much verifies that you currently have full access rights to this system. If you do not have local admin rights, a password prompt will appear requesting for a local administrator user ID and password. In this case, you will need to log out of Windows and log back in using a different login ID. Once you can access the User Accounts window without it asking you for a password, you may continue with the installation of Peachtree. If you are running an antivirus program, you should disable its Auto Protect feature before walking through the installation. Doing so will ensure that the program does not accidentally quarantine various network-enabled files installed with Peachtree. Overall installation time will decrease as well. Most antivirus programs provide an icon in the task tray when it is running. You can right-click on this icon and select Disable, Disable Auto Protect, or something similar. For example, this system is currently running Avast antivirus. We can right-click on Avast's taskbar icon to disable the program's Auto Protect feature. Once Peachtree is finished installing, we can then right-click on the icon and enable on-access protection. Software firewalls running on your system should be made aware of the files that Peachtree installs and allow them to run unrestricted. Otherwise, Peachtree will not run as designed. Although Peachtree's installation process can automatically configure Windows' built-in firewall, non-Microsoft firewalls such as McAfee, Norton, and ZoneAlarm must be configured to display an alert when a Peachtree file runs for the first time on the system. Ensuring that your firewall's alert setting is turned on prior to Peachtree's installation will help you make certain that all relevant Peachtree files are added to the firewall program's Safe Programs list during the install. As Peachtree is installed, always select Allow on alerts that reference any of the files listed during the installation process. If your firewall program blocks these files, they will be added to your firewall's blocked programs list and Peachtree will not run properly. Common errors that signal that your firewall has blocked Peachtree files include Peachtree cannot be started, please reboot, and the user you entered is already logged into Peachtree. Peachtree's online help provides many guides that can guide you through enabling alerts in your firewall program or removing Peachtree and pervasive files from your firewall's blocked programs list. To access Peachtree's online help, open your web browser and in the address bar, enter www.peachtree.com/support. Peachtree's online help page will display. Click on the Firewall Issues hyperlink. Peachtree's Firewall Help page provides you with everything you need to know to make sure that Peachtree is not restricted by your firewall, including a list of files that your firewall program may block. Additionally, step-by-step guides will walk you through enabling alerts and unblocking files for many popular firewall programs. Peachtree uses the pervasive SQL database engine to manage and secure your company's database and uses the TCP/IP network protocol to communicate with itself and other Peachtree users on a network. Pervasive will request IP information from Peachtree users on the network using each computer's name. From this name, it will determine the IP address of a computer so that they can send and receive Peachtree data freely. For this to work properly, your Windows workstations must be able to locate each other on the network using the names of each computer in addition to IP addresses. With Windows Ping utility, it's very easy to determine whether or not your workstation computer names are resolving to an IP address properly. Before using Ping, go to each system that Peachtree will be installed on and take note of each computer's name. Remember, you can use the System Information utility discussed earlier to locate a computer's name. After locating the computer names, go to the first computer that you will install Peachtree on. This will be the standalone computer if single user, or the server if installing in a multi-user Peachtree environment. If the system is using Windows XP, select the Start button and then select Run. Again, if you're using Vista or Windows 7, you can hold down the Windows key on your keyboard and then press the R key. The same Run window will appear. At the Open field, enter CMD and then press the OK button. A Microsoft Windows command prompt will appear. First, make sure that TCP/IP is installed and working properly on the system currently being accessed. Even if you are installing on a standalone machine, Pervasive will still need to have computer name to IP address resolution working properly. First, we will type ping space 127.0.0.1 and then press enter. IP address 127.0.0.1 is the test loopback address that exists on every computer and can be pinged to make sure that your network adapter is working properly and that TCP/IP is configured properly. If the loopback ping is successful, it will return reply messages and various ping statistics and round-trip time information. If the ping replies with an error, such as could not find host or display reply timeouts, then either the loopback address was typed in wrong or TCP/IP is not configured correctly on this system. Next, let's ping the current computer by name to verify the system is linking the computer name to the system's IP address. For this example, we'll type ping space and then the computer name. Like the loopback address, we should receive reply messages and round-trip time information if the ping was successful. If we receive errors or timeouts, we will need to check the name entered for accuracy. Also, turn off your firewall to make sure that it is not interfering with ping activity. If you entered the name correctly and your firewall is not blocking ping requests, you will need to have a network technician resolve the problem before Peachtree will run correctly on this computer. If both the loopback ping and the local name ping were successful, we can assume that TCP/IP name resolution is working properly on this system. If this is a standalone Peachtree installation, we can now continue with the installation. If this system is part of a network installation, we now want to ping the other system or systems on the network to make sure that we can communicate with them using computer names. If the current system will host the Peachtree Company database, ping by name each Peachtree workstation that the server computer will be serving. If you receive timeouts or errors, make sure the name was entered correctly and that any firewall programs on the server and the Peachtree workstations are configured properly. On each workstation, ping the loopback address and then ping each workstation by computer name. Then, ping the server computer by name to ensure that the workstation can communicate with the server. And that's it. Following this set of 6 procedures will help you ensure that your Peachtree installation is a quick and easy process. You have successfully completed this Anytime Learning topic. You have learned how to verify that your computer meets Peachtree's minimum system requirements, verify that you are logged into Windows with full permissions, disable your antivirus program if any, enable firewall program alerts if any, and use the ping command to verify system and network functionality. Thank you for taking this Anytime Learning topic. For information on additional training options available, visit us at sageu.com.